Hello everybody, this is your main man Keith here from Keith Plays PS4 927. Happy Sunday morning to all my awesome viewers on this awesome channel. We are still doing NBA 2K22 Road to the NBA Finals, but this time we're starting off by doing the Classic Team series. So this series is going to involve, for example, teams like the 2000-2001 Los Angeles Lakers, the 2012-13 Miami Heat, the 88-89 Detroit Pistons, the 64-65 Boston Celtics, the 2000-2008 Boston Celtics. This will involve the 99-00 Toronto Raptors and parts of the Michael Jordan era Chicago Bulls team. So it's going to be in a very similar bracket style like we have been doing for our Lakers, Timberwolves, Raptors, so on, for Road to the NBA Finals series. We're starting off with the Miami Heat with the 2012-13 with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Bosh. So I'm hoping that we're probably going to win an NBA title here. So we'll show you the bracket in just a minute. Alright, so we're the 2012-13 Miami Heat in the NBA Finals playoffs, and we are the #1 seed, so we are going to battle off against the 99-2000 Toronto Raptors in the first round playoffs, and our projected NBA Finals opponent will probably be the 97-98 Utah Jazz, featuring John Stockton and Karl Malone. So we'll show you the uniforms, so we'll see you into tip-off. Alright, so the 99-03 uniforms are going to be worn by the 99-00 Toronto Raptors with the purple. Meanwhile, on the other hand, the Miami Heat are going to be wearing the white classic home uniforms from 2009 to 2017, which I think is also, which to my understanding, is their current uniform. So without any further ado, we'll see you guys at tip-off. Alright, here we are at tip-off at the American Airlines Arena in the 305 in Miami, Florida. So now Muggsy Boggs is going to pass it over to Vince Carter, who played the most seasons in NBA history with 22. So he was the first player in NBA history to play 4 decades, and now LeBron James making the steal off of Vince Carter, making that dunk happen. So now VC, the North Carolina product, he is going to knock this one from behind the arc. So it is now a 3-2 Toronto Raptors lead. So now we got LeBron James going up in the paint, making that dunk happen. So it's now a 4-3, as I should say, 4-3 lead here in Miami. So now Vince Carter losing the basketball. LeBron James, the Akron, Ohio native, he's going to make a dunk happen. So it's now 6-3 as Vince Carter is going to pass it over to Muggsy Boggs. He is the shortest player in NBA history. I think he was like 5'3", and he gets it in with a layup. So now Chris Bosh has possession. He's going to pass it over to LeBron James. So now LeBron James, he's going to knock down a 3 from behind the arc, and it is good. So it's now 9-5 Miami. And now Tracy McGrady, it passes it over to Vince Carter, which, fun fact actually, I never knew about this up until a year or two ago, that they are actually second cousins. They never knew about this when they played in Toronto, but changing the subject, Dwayne Wade gets that layup in the paint, his first 2 points of the game. So I'm presuming their grandparents were brothers or sisters or something, siblings rather, and McGrady makes that dunk happen. So now Mario Chalmers gonna pass it over to LeBron James, gonna pass it over to Battier, and then some D Wade. So Battier will pick up the assist as Dwayne Wade makes that 3 happen. So VC gonna pass it over to his cousin Tracy McGrady, and now Tracy McGrady gets this one in there. So it's now 11-14. Both teams to start off this episode on a very positive note, with both 100% in field goals. So that's really good to see. So now it is 16-11. So now Muggsy Boggs has possession. Where is he going to take this? Oh, and he gets fouled by Mario Chalmers. And they changed up the depth chart here, I think, for Toronto, maybe not. So Doug Christie has possession of the basketball. I don't know where he's going to shoot it to, but going to pass it over to a teammate. And he's going to pass it over to Doug Christie. And Doug Christie makes that dunk happen. So it's now going to be a 16-13 lead. So now Chris Bosh with the possession of the basketball. He's actually going to get this one in for 2 points. And we are actually going to take a break. Alright, so now Mike Miller is going to pass it over to Mario Chalmers, and then Ray Allen, who was very famous for the Game 6 three-pointer to head into Game 7 during the 2013 NBA Finals. He was the main contributor to Game 6 because he had made that three to make the Spurs play a Game 7, and Miami won this series 4-3, so they are one of the most iconic NBA Classic teams in this series. So they are one of the most iconic because LeBron James played for them, and he had the elusive talent like no other player. So why is Aaron Baines and Rashad Lewis? He will make a three happen, but there is a booth review. He makes the three, but I don't think he made it in on time because it was literally 0-0, and the clock just hit. In the replay center from Secaucus, New Jersey, he did make a jump there to make that three, but I am saying no, he will not make this one in because it was 0-0. It was like 0.0 at the clock, so evidently it is no. So no, he does not make it in. So it is now 26-18 or 16. Alright, so it's now 26-18 here in Miami, Florida. So they're going to pass it around to Mike Miller. And then we got Mario Chalmers and then some Ray Allen. He was surpassed by Steph Curry December 14th of last year, 2021, when Curry broke his record for the most threes against the Knicks. He had 2,973 three-pointers, Ray Allen. Curry had 2,974 against to break the record, and now Curry, from what I understand, is the only NBA player to have 3,000 threes in his NBA career. So they're going to pass it over, and Doug Christie makes that three for the Raptors. So it's now going to be 30-23. Rashad Lewis is on the court. So evidently, as you guys recall from the end of last quarter, he did not make that three happen. I knew that he didn't make it in because it was already 0-0 and the buzzer beater just already hit. So it was too late for that. So now Mario Chalmers on the court, going to pass it over to Ray Allen, and then going back to pass it over to Mario Chalmers. So now this is going to be a 34-25 Miami Heat lead. So now it is Williams losing the basketball, picking it back up, going to pass it over to Doug Christie, and it is now 34-27 at the moment. So now I'm going to use some passing it over to Ray Allen, former Boston Celtics player, losing it, giving it to Doug Christie and the Raptors. So Toronto is going to pass it over to Williams, and then Tracy McGrady is going to make that dunk there, the high school draftee from Mount Zion Academy in North Carolina. So now Ray Allen, I'm going to try to make this three happen. He will actually get this one in, so the Raptors are taking a timeout. Alright, so it's now 37-29. Toronto has possession of the basketball. We had made some minor depth chart substitutions. Vince Carter going to pass it over to Antonio Davis. Carter with the assist. So now I'm going to pass it over to D. Wade. And he makes this fly from behind the arc. So it's now going to be 40-31. And now Muggsy Boggs has possession of the basketball. Where is he going to pass this to? He's going to pass it over to Charles Oakley, and he will pick up that assist there. 94% in field goals for Toronto, while Miami has 100%. And let's see if the Akron, Ohio native can make that three. He does not, so they missed their first field goal of the entire game. So now Vince Carter, will he actually pull a three from behind the arc? Yes, he will. It's now 36-40. I'm going to pass it over to LeBron James. So now LeBron James gets this one in for 2 points. So it's now 42-36. So now LeBron James with 11 points. He has 2 steals. And Vince Carter going to pass it over to Charles Oakley. So now Charles Oakley going to pass it over to Vince Carter. And that evidently is an out-of-bounds call. So it is a Toronto possession. So 39.1 seconds to go. This has been a pretty close game in this first half. Vince Carter getting this one in for 2. And we're going to pass it over to Dwayne Wade. So D. Wade going to pass it over to Juwan Howard, who is a current Michigan men's basketball coach there. And he also played at Michigan too. So I think he retired after the 2013-14 season. So now LeBron James making that steal. Will he actually make a three from behind the arc? The high school draftee says yes, he can make it in. So now Vince Carter has possession of the basketball. So what's he going to do? He's going to go up, make that layup count. And it's now going to be 40-47. So 10 seconds to go in this first half in Miami. And Dwayne Wade hits that three. He makes it count. So it's now 50-40. And this will conclude the first half here in Miami, Florida. As Vince Carter attempts a half-court three, it does not go in. So the halftime score is the 2012-13 Miami Heat 50, the 99-00 Toronto Raptors 40. All right, so it's now 50-40 here in Miami. LeBron James, 18 points, and he has 1 assist and 3 steals for the Akron, Ohio native. His elusive talent brought him to the court ever since playing during his youth and then playing in high school. Didn't go to college and played really well in the NBA. And he's still an active player, but I felt like he played his best during his career at Miami, which he didn't really spend very much time, because you guys remember the decision choice back in July of 2010. And fun fact, by the way, I was in Akron the day LeBron James said that he was going to go to the Miami Heat on July 8th. I was actually taking a tour with my family to the Akron Zoo that day, and I think my father knew about it like hours later when we got home, I think that day. So Tracy McGrady makes that layup happen. So it's now 56-46. So now Chris Bosh gets it in there. So now Antonio Davis has a shooting foul. And Chris Bosh, he is going to the free throw line for the Miami Heat. So Toronto making some depth chart changes. So is Miami. And they're putting in Mike Miller and Rashad Lewis. So we still got some D. Wade out on that court. I like him. He has made some elusive talent. So now Mario Chalmers going to pass it over to Chris Bosh. And Bosh, he gets this one in. So it's now 61-46. 2 minutes and 34 seconds to go. And it is Tracy McGrady that has possession of the basketball. Where is he going to take this up to? Will he take it up to the paint and dunk that in? Yes, he will. I'm just going to pass it over to D. Wade. 13 points for McGrady and 8 from the paint. So Wade makes that three happen. So it's now 64-48. 2:10 to go in the third quarter. So now Tracy McGrady with the possession of the basketball. And it looks like he loses it. And Rashad Lewis picks it up. So now D. Wade, he's going to the paint there. And it's now going to be 66-48. All right, Juwan Howard, he's going to pass it over to D Wade and then back to LeBron James. So now LeBron James, he gets this one in for 2 points. So it's now 70-53. And the Heat are looking red hot in game one. So they are pretty much NBA Finals material. Even though this is game one of the Eastern Conference first round. But still, they still have the elusive talent. So now Williams, he's going to dribble this one out. And it is Willis who misses that. So now Mike Miller picks up that rebound. I'm going to pass it over to LeBron James. So now LeBron James gets this one in. So it's now 72-53. And Tracy McGrady has possession of the basketball. So now McGrady, he's going to go up, makes that layup there. 17.9 seconds to go. And we are up on top of it by 17. So I'm going to pass it over to Juwan Howard, who is the current Michigan head coach. So now he's going to drill this from behind the arc. Misses that. And it's going to be a 17-point. Actually, 17. He missed that, McGrady. So it's now 72-55. And we are on top of it on game one. This has been a really close, hard-fought game. And we'll see ends in the fourth. State Farm assist of the game is coming right up. So now it is D Wade passing it over to Chris Bosh. And I think this might have been the fouled one. Maybe not. But Toronto has possession of the basketball. So it's now 72-55 at the moment. So now they're going to pass this over to Vince Carter. And he gets that in, so it's now 57-72. LeBron James going to make that slam for the Miami Heat. This is Eastern Conference first round. Anything can happen, as now Vince Carter has possession. Where is he going to actually shoot this from, or will he actually pass it over to a teammate? He passes it over to a teammate. And now it's Miami's possession. So now LeBron James going to make this three from fly behind the arc. So it's now going to be 77-60. And Vince Carter has possession of the basketball. This is strange because he didn't even dunk in this whole game. Like, he usually likes to dunk. I mean, not to mention, he did win the 2000 NBA Slam Dunk Contest on All-Star Weekend. So now this is the Eastern Conference first round playoffs. And LeBron James with 29 points. And Vince Carter, number 15, going to pass it over to Doug Christie. And the 2012-13 Heat take a timeout. All right, LeBron James, the Akron, Ohio native, is your player of the game. We will go over the numbers after the game. So now it's 91-73. I'm going to pass this over to Dwayne Wade. I'm going to pass it a little bit around. Going to use some Juwan Howard to make that three happen. He makes it fly in. So it's now 94-73. We are up by 21 points. And Howard makes that steal. James with a dunk. So it's now 96-73. And the Miami Heat, they are red hot so far in today's episode. So they're going to pass it over to Del Curry, the father of Steph Curry, who also wears number 30. So Miami, they've had 5 more threes than the Toronto Raptors. So now Juwan Howard makes that layup happen. So it's now 98-76. I forgot to realize that Del Curry was on the Raptors at this team. So Shane Battier, the Duke product, makes that dunk happen. So it's going to be 100-76. So we're up by 24 in Miami at the American Airlines Arena. So we win it at home for game one. And Workman's going to pass it over to Johnson. And it's going to be 100-78. So now there's 20-some seconds left on the shot clock. I don't want to go to the backcourt violation line, so we get this one in. So it's now 102-78. And now Brown has possession of the basketball. What's he going to do? Going to try to get this layup in there. So 102 to 80. LeBron James going to pass it over to Battier. So Battier makes it in there. 2.8 seconds to go. And it is the Miami Heat who win today's episode here in the American Airlines Arena. And all the fans are cheering. 104 to 80 is your final score from Miami. And we're going to go over statistics. LeBron James, 35 points, 4 assists, 4 steals, 7 dunks on the day for him. Give him a 5-star rating in today's episode. He is your player of the game. Dwayne Wade, 18 points, 6 assists, 1 steal on the day for him. Shane Battier, 13 points in all, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 dunk for him. Ray Allen, 11 points, 2 assists, 1 steal for him. Chris Bosh, he had 9 points, 1 assist, 1 steal on the day. Juwan Howard, 7 points and 2 assists for him. He did have a dunk in today's episode. Vince Carter, 23 points in all, 6 assists, and he did have a dunk. He was 3 for 4 from behind the arc. Tracy McGrady, 17 points, 2 assists on the day, and he had 3 dunks, by the way. Doug Christie had 3 dunks, 13 points in all, 2 assists, and 1 steal. Muggsy Boggs, he had 9 points, 4 assists on the day. Alvin Williams had 5 points. Antonio Davis, 4 points. Del Curry had a 3-pointer to end, well, close to end the game. But the 2012-13 Heat lead the series 1-0. We will see you guys in Game 2.